For night 2, we started off with the banger. What was originally intended to be after the match against Gunther, Nick Aldis was reinstated by Triple H to once again be SmackDown General Manager. And for his first order of business, he decided to make the one-on-one match, which was supposed to be a one-on-one match between Sami Zayn and Finn Balor to determine the number 1 contender for CM Punk, or whoever won the CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes match, which CM Punk would end up winning. Whoever won the match would be number 1 contender for that championship. Became a triple threat. Was added to the match. Sami Zayn versus Finn Balor. And then Nick in his return, his long-awaited return. Honestly, I didn't think this guy was going to come back until next year, honestly. That was a hell of a voice crack, by the way. But I didn't think he was going to come back until next year, honestly. There was even a thought that Kevin Owens might not even come back at all, honestly. There was a legitimate thought that he was done with wrestling. But no, he made an incredible return to an amazing ovation. I'd say the best reception of the entire weekend. And rightfully so, Kevin Owens makes his incredible return to the ring after suffering a damn near career-ending injury last year, which kept him out of WrestleMania he would have been facing Randy Orton, but he suffered an injury last year before then, so he couldn't face off against Randy Orton. And so, yeah, he makes his insane, incredible return. Great to see Kevin Owens back, Missed him. And he would end up winning the match, which went from a one-on-one to a triple threat to ultimately a fatal 4-way, as Kevin Owens would end up winning the match. And Sami Zayn, his reaction said it all. After seeing Kevin Owens return, this guy was not only shocked, but pissed off, honestly. Rightfully so. Even though this guy, Sami Zayn, complains all the time. But at least the character does, I'm sure the guy is a good guy, I'm sure he's a cool guy in real life. I don't actually know him. I've never met him personally, but, I'm sure he is. But the character, he's this fake good guy. He calls himself the only good guy left, which is complete and utter bullshit. But, that's just my opinion. But he was pretty pissed off to see not only this matchup being a fatal 4-way, but Kevin Owens coming back, It was sort of deja vu from the championship match he had against a mystery opponent, which ended up being CM Punk in Chicago Monday Night Raw, a few weeks ago. But Kevin Owens would end up winning the match, which is not only great to see Kevin Owens back in the ring, which is already amazing in and of itself, but to see this guy win the match, honestly, as he's going to face CM Punk, and that should be a heck of a matchup, honestly. That should be a heck of a one-on-one, and we'll see what happens on SmackDown, But then we had a ladder match between Chelsea Green, Charlotte Flair, Jade Cargill, Lash Legend, and Tiffany Stratton for the vacant interim championship, as Rhea Ripley is out with an injury, so we'll see how long she's out for. But whoever won this match is probably going to end up facing Rhea Ripley for the actual title. But for the time being, interim championship, there's a ladder match for which Chelsea Green would end up winning. Great for her, I'm happy for her. Definitely rooting for her. And she ended up winning, which was a surprise. But, I'm happy, But yeah, she's probably going to end up facing Rhea Ripley for the actual championship once Rhea Ripley comes back, which we'll see when that happens, Then we had Danhausen versus Dominic Mysterio. A crazy, pretty silly, goofy match, which probably could have happened on SmackDown or Monday Night Raw. But, it was on SummerSlam. I'm not complaining too much, It was still an entertaining match, which Danhausen would end up beating Dominic Mysterio in this human monies on a pole match, which for weeks now, after being cursed, Dominic Mysterio and the rest of the Judgment Day have been gunning for Danhausen, honestly, as Danhausen also had their money, but because Danhausen would end up winning the match, thanks to not only the mini-Hausens, like I said, it was a goofy-ass match, but, I loved it. And also Joe Hendry, after Dominic Mysterio would end up trying to cheat using JD McDonough, But Danhausen would ultimately end up winning thanks to Joe Hendry. And as a result, not only keep the money, but he gave the money he owed Dominic Mysterio, but he kept the money because he won. And end up giving it away, basically, Very charitable person, Danhausen. Not only is this guy handing out ice cream on his ice cream truck, which I don't know if he has a permit or not, but it doesn't matter. It's just pretty fun to see Danhausen, a very fun character. And yeah, like I said, very charitable person, this Danhausen, as he would also give some of the money to Michael Cole. Wade Barrett doesn't deserve shit, so, he didn't give him anything, I think it ended up being fake money anyways, Danhausen approved, Danhausen trademarked. I don't know if he trademarked the money, but he might as well have. I don't know what actual use the money he made has, Danhausen catalog online or anything. But, we'll see. The Judgment Day continued to suck, but yeah, it was a fun match. Pretty silly, wacky, fun match. Then we had Chad Gable finally overcoming his demons and winning the championship in his hometown of Minnesota, which is where SummerSlam took place. And it's great to see, you know, Chad Gable for the character. I'm talking about the character for a little while was making a mockery of being a luchador, and ultimately El Grande Americano of AAA would end up humbling him, and he learned his lesson, and he definitely is sincerely sorry for how he was being, you know. He's on a redemption arc right now, Chad Gable is, and it's great to see, you know, and he deserves this championship, absolutely. Like I said, he's trying to redeem himself, you know, like he seems like a genuinely cool, kind person in real life, and, you know, it's just great to see him finally overcome the obstacle of winning the championship. And, you know, even though he made Penta tap out, it was still a pretty good match, you know, but he celebrated with his family afterwards, which was great to see. And, you know, I'm just happy for Chad Gable because, like I said, he genuinely seems like a good person in real life, and it's great to see, you know, his character showing that for sure now, making amends for how he was acting before. And like I said, he's been redeeming himself. He's in his redemption arc, you know. But yeah, Chad Gable would end up winning the Intercontinental Championship, and it's great to see, you know. Then for the final matchup of the day, we had Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins, which has been a rivalry since Seth Rollins took a steel chair to the back of Roman Reigns 12 years ago, which would end up destroying the Shield, which was the group that Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Dean Ambrose, who's in AEW now, Jon Moxley. We'll see if Jon Moxley ever comes back to the WWE. I don't know if he will. We'll see, you know. But he was there in spirit, at least, as this was the match of the weekend, honestly. And it should have been the match of the weekend because it was the main event of night 2, you know. So it should have been the match of the weekend, and it was the match of the weekend. It lived up to the hype. It's crazy. I missed like the first 5-10 minutes of this match. Can't remember what I was doing. I think I was doing some push-ups, trying to get into shape, you know. But I missed like the first 5-10 minutes of the match, and it was still an insane match. Definitely, arguably the match of the entire year, honestly. Like, this was an insane match. It was pure cinema, and yeah, absolutely amazing. And Roman Reigns would end up winning this match as he would overcome his demons and finally put the past in the past, or leave the past in the past, as he had another chance to hit Seth Rollins in the back with the steel chair, which has been his Achilles heel and has really cost him in matchups against Seth Rollins, and even not in matchups against Seth Rollins, as 2 years ago he would get distracted trying to hit. He did end up hitting Seth Rollins in the back with a steel chair, and Cody Rhodes would then take advantage and win the championship for the first time in his career, as that WrestleMania was an insane WrestleMania, the first WrestleMania I ever watched, and the most insane WrestleMania I will probably watch ever. We'll see. But, you know, that has been his Achilles heel, him obsessing over that and that history with Seth Rollins. But he had another chance to hit Seth Rollins in the back with the steel chair, but he put his past in the past and threw away the chair, and he didn't need the bloodline. You know, he won this match on his own, and yeah, he conquered his demons and finally conquered Seth Rollins, as Roman Reigns is still the champion, you know. We'll see what happens next for Roman Reigns, but this was a heck of a match. And after the match, Roman Reigns would really put his past in the past, forgiving Seth Rollins, as he would pay tribute to the Shield by doing like the symbolic Shield gesture, as Dean Ambrose wasn't there, aka Jon Moxley from AEW wasn't there, but he was there in spirit, you know. But it seems like Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns have made amends and they're once again brothers, you know. But it was an amazing moment to see. But overall, I'd give this night an 8 out of 10, a solid B+. And how I would rate this weekend, honestly, is a solid B+, 8 out of 10, 4 out of 5. As like I said, it wasn't an amazing SummerSlam. I think last year's SummerSlam was better in my opinion. But it was still a very good SummerSlam, for sure. But yeah, those were my reactions to both nights of SummerSlam. Should be interesting to see what culminates after SummerSlam, you know, the aftermath of SummerSlam. And overall, it should be exciting. But those were my reactions. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And until my next video, I will catch y'all later. Deuces.